it would appear that narcissism is a punishable personality trait. Narcissists have to deal with the fact that they are always trying to better themselves. No matter what they acquire or accomplish, they will always feel unfulfilled. The truth is that nothing ever truly satisfies them. Despite this, they continue to internalize a sense of worthlessness and insignificance. A sense that there is always more to get and accomplish persists for them. The narcissist doesn't appear to be able to see that material wealth and praise aren't enough to satisfy the emptiness inside their own soul. Envy's green eye guarantees they'll never be happy with what they have, condemning them to a life of endless comparison and want. You can never find contentment if you're always evaluating yourself in relation to others. Narcissists are also never willing to admit they are wrong. Nobody in their lives brings them joy, not even themselves. Narcissists, on the other hand, are known to abuse their victims to the point that they eventually push them away. Not even once can they figure out what's best for themselves, which means they keep peeping on more. Extra people and stuff are both essential. They are further damned by being doomed to a life of constant fear. They may have their hypocrisy exposed at any time, or someone could stand up to them and make them pay for their lies. Because of this, narcissists are preoccupied with how others perceive them at all times. They lack tranquility because they worry constantly and never learn to let go. The narcissist is convinced that everyone else views them as a means to an end, and that they deserve the same treatment they've been getting all along. They fear being used or exposed. The narcissist I know frequently hid her sentiments of inadequacy and jealousy under jokes. Sometimes she would insult others with her humor. One type of narcissist uses humor to disarm others, gain narcissistic supply, and mask their own inadequacies. In this video I discussed how narcissists could make use of comedy, but make no mistake, this is no laughing matter. Fear may be crippling for anyone, but for a narcissist, it is especially crippling because of their preoccupation with themselves. That the truth would be revealed to the public is their greatest fear, which would lead to the humiliation they've been trying so hard to avoid. Quite simply, first impressions are often deceiving. They keep covering up who they really are in the hopes that no one will find out. A narcissist's defensive, insecure, manipulative and paranoid actions stem from an overwhelming sense of fear. When dealing with a narcissist who aims to re-enter your life after a discard, it's essential to recognize the intricate strategies they employ. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, armed with an arsenal of tactics designed to ensnare you once more. Let's explore the deceptive steps they take and how to protect yourself from their return. First and foremost, narcissists are well versed in the art of persuasion. They know exactly what to say and how to act to trigger a response from you. This isn't a coincidence, it's their calculated strategy to regain control. They'll often pick up right where they left off, seamlessly slipping back into your life, as if no time has passed. From sweet words to grand gestures, they aim to elicit an emotional reaction. To the unsuspecting, it might feel like genuine remorse or a desire for reconciliation, but for the narcissist, it's merely a means to an end. A common tactic they employ is bearing gifts, hoping to overshadow the pain they caused with shiny distractions. These gestures are rarely genuine. Instead, they're tools to make you forget the past and focus on a fabricated future. The narrative they spin revolves around making you believe you're their one true love, the only person they care about deeply. But make no mistake, the narcissist's attention is not about valuing you as an individual, but about reclaiming their source of validation and control. One of the most insidious aspects of dealing with a narcissist is their persistence. Like a boomerang, they find ways to re-enter your life, regardless of how far you've tried to distance yourself. Their tenacity stems from two primary motivations. Either you are a crucial source of supply for their ego, or they have ulterior motives often rooted in harm or exploitation. These motives are rarely transparent, masked instead by their charming facade. The narcissist's return is inevitable, not because of love or care, but because their tentacles are always searching for an opening to creep back into your life. Their timing, however, is strategic. Narcissists don't hoover, a term used to describe their attempts to suck you back into their web immediately. Often they're distracted by what they perceive to be better sources of supply. Yet when those options fail or dry up, they come back, knowing you once served their needs effectively. It's a cycle rooted in self-interest, not genuine connection. To re-enter your life, a narcissist will disguise themselves as an angel, bearing gifts or false promises. They won't arrive with a pitchfork and horns. Their devilish intentions are cloaked in a carefully crafted image of remorse and redemption. This pretense allows them to infiltrate your boundaries once again. Their goal: to rebuild trust and regain access to the control they crave. Even more concerning is the network of enablers they cultivate, often referred to as flying monkeys. These individuals, manipulated by the narcissist, unknowingly assist in their schemes. Whether it's through smear campaigns or monitoring your whereabouts, these accomplices extend the narcissist's reach. Friends, family members, or acquaintances can all become unwitting participants in their manipulative agenda. Protecting yourself means setting firm boundaries, not just with the narcissist but also with anyone who enables their behavior. This might mean distancing yourself from siblings, parents, or even close friends who inadvertently act as their spies. Implementing a no-contact policy is a critical step in breaking free. But true liberation requires extending this policy to everyone within the narcissist's orbit. It's a painful but necessary measure to reclaim your peace and safeguard your well-being. Saying goodbye to enablers, even those you care about, is an act of self-preservation, ensuring the narcissist's toxic influence no longer lingers in your life. The fourth reason why you will never find closure after dealing with a narcissist is simple yet profound: you will never be able to teach them a lesson. This is not due to a lack of effort or understanding on your part, but rather because narcissists operate on a fundamentally different emotional and moral compass. Their world revolves around their own needs, desires, and the unending pursuit of control and validation, leaving little room for genuine introspection or change. One of the most effective tactics narcissists employ to maintain control over their victims is the ability to keep tabs on them, even long after a relationship or interaction has supposedly ended. They are skilled at exploiting moments of vulnerability, such as the aftermath of a personal loss, a breakup, or even a joyous occasion like a promotion or achievement. These moments provide the narcissist with an opportunity to reinsert themselves into your life under the guise of support or congratulations. But make no mistake, this is not genuine care or concern. It is a calculated move designed to catch you off guard and lure you back into their web of manipulation. The narcissist's next ploy is equally insidious. They play the victim. This tactic often involves portraying themselves as someone who cannot survive without you. They may threaten self-harm or dramatize their despair in a way that makes you feel solely responsible for their well-being. By doing so, they create a situation where you feel compelled to stay, out of pity or fear for their safety. Their desperate pleas are frequently accompanied by a flood of apologies, promises of change, and tears that are often as calculated as their words. Narcissists are masters of emotional performance, capable of crying on cue to evoke sympathy and manipulate your emotions. This display of desperation is not limited by gender. Male and female narcissists alike are adept at using tears and sob stories to appeal to your sense of compassion. They know exactly how to pull at your heartstrings, employing a mix of charm, vulnerability, and strategic emotional displays to make you question your decision to distance yourself. This is not a sign of genuine remorse, but rather a strategic move to regain their control over you. At the core of a narcissist's behavior lies an utter lack of empathy. They are incapable of understanding or caring about the impact of their actions on others. Their primary focus is on exploiting those around them to fuel their own sense of self-worth. This narcissistic supply is their lifeline, and they will go to great lengths to secure it. They do not care about your well-being or happiness. They care only about what you can provide for them, whether it is emotional validation, financial support, or simply the satisfaction of knowing they still hold power over you. When dealing with a narcissist, it is crucial to remain vigilant and resolute. Their seemingly kind gestures and apparent willingness to change are nothing more than tools to manipulate you. They may offer gifts, apologies, or acts of kindness, but these actions are not rooted in genuine affection. Instead, they are transactional, intended to lower your defenses and make you more susceptible to their control. If you accept these overtures, you may find yourself drawn back into their cycle of abuse and manipulation. Narcissists are patient predators. They are willing to wait weeks, months, or even years to regain their influence over you. Once they have achieved this, their behavior will quickly revert to its destructive patterns. Their actions are not the result of harmless mistakes or misunderstandings that can be resolved with an apology. Instead, they are deliberate and calculated, driven by a deep-seated need to dominate and exploit those around them. One of the most effective strategies for protecting yourself from a narcissist is to close all doors that could allow them back into your life. This means not only severing ties with the narcissist themselves, but also addressing the influence of their enablers, often referred to as flying monkeys. These individuals are used by the narcissist to gather information about you, relay messages, and maintain their grip on your life. Removing these enablers from your circle is essential for achieving true freedom from the narcissist's influence. It is important to recognize that the narcissist's interest in you is conditional. As long as you serve their needs, they will maintain a semblance of care or interest. However, the moment you no longer fulfill their desires, they will discard you without hesitation. If they believe they can regain access to you by playing the victim or employing their enablers, they will not hesitate to do so. This is why it is critical to remain alert to their tactics and to be prepared for their attempts to re-establish control. Understanding the narcissist's methods of manipulation is the first step in protecting yourself from their influence. By recognizing their tactics, such as playing the victim, using flying monkeys, or appealing to your compassion, you can begin to dismantle their power over you. It is equally important to share your experiences with trusted individuals who can provide support and validation. Talking openly about the narcissist's strategies can help you gain clarity and reinforce your resolve to maintain boundaries. Ultimately, the journey to healing and closure requires unwavering commitment to your own well-being. This means resisting the narcissist's attempts to manipulate you, cutting ties with their enablers, and prioritizing your emotional and mental health above all else. While it may be tempting to believe in their promises of change or to feel pity for their plight, remember that these are tools of manipulation designed to serve their agenda, not yours. Freedom from a narcissist is not achieved through teaching them a lesson or seeking their acknowledgement of your pain. It is achieved through self-empowerment, boundaries, and the unwavering decision to put yourself first. By doing so, you reclaim your life, your happiness, and your sense of self-worth, leaving no room for the narcissist's toxic influence to return. Okay, I suppose that's everything I can think of right now. I trust this data was helpful to you. As usual, feel free to leave your comments and questions on this topic below. It is with great anticipation that we await to read them. It would be really appreciated if you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our future uploads. We appreciate you watching this. This is the one thing that keeps narcissists in turmoil and can't stop at what they do. Greetings to everyone. Narcissists have an idealized image of themselves in their heads and a strong sense that they'd fall short of that ideal. Thus, they feel pressured to present a particular image of themselves. Because they act inappropriately to do so, they continue to be socially rejected. The narcissist's primary motivation in almost all circumstances is self-enhancement, but we can't take these actions at face value. Especially if the person engaging in them is blustering and making grand claims, it doesn't imply that they have a healthy self-image. There's clearly something missing from their existence. Vulnerable narcissists may, in fact, harbor feelings of self-loathing. In a word, it's awful and heartbreaking. They worry that they will never measure up. Making $1 billion won't solve the underlying mental health problem. It's true. There are 3 things a narcissist can bank on no matter how much planning, lying, or manipulating they put into their lives. Because they create so many of their own difficulties, narcissists experience deep and enduring depression throughout their lives. A narcissist is someone who is truly tortured, terrified, and miserable, hiding behind a facade of fake smiles, self-assurance, and material wealth. Despite having access to everything that life has to offer, they still can't seem to calm their nerves. Nobody, no matter how ideal they seemed at the time, turns out to be the one who truly makes a difference in the narcissist's life. The problem-causing drive of a narcissist is their obsession with gaining and maintaining power, which overshadows any desire for repentance. Therefore, narcissists are, for lack of a better word, damned. The simplest way to put it is that they've gone down a road where turning around would be a huge hassle. As a result, narcissists could have some things they can rely on throughout their lives. Understanding this will help you see why your success poses a danger to theirs. Understanding their goals can help you begin to appreciate how they manage their company. Your understanding of why they are condemned to eternal unhappiness and why they are not someone you should fear or envy will be greatly enhanced after you learn that they are their own worst enemy. Also, I showed you in this video how to do it. Bad fortune seems to follow narcissists around like a curse. This is something they always take with them when they go out. Since it's always there, they can't stand being alone for fear of facing their issue head-on. Narcissists, despite their outward displays of confidence and superiority, are trapped in a perpetual cycle of disappointment and dissatisfaction. Their expectations are consistently set impossibly high, not just for themselves but also for those closest to them. This stems from their inflated sense of self-worth and their unwavering belief that they are inherently superior to everyone else. However, their aspirations are doomed to fail, as the reality of life seldom aligns with the grandeur of their imagination. They dream of domination and the power to manipulate others at will, but such fantasies are unattainable. Consequently, narcissists find themselves in an endless loop of frustration, as they are unable to achieve the control and admiration they so desperately crave. This inflated sense of entitlement leaves them vulnerable to frequent bouts of anger and despair. Like a child throwing a tantrum when denied their favorite toy, narcissists lash out when their unrealistic demands go unmet. They refuse to accept the reality that they cannot control the actions of others or dictate the outcomes of every situation. Their relentless need to micromanage and assert dominance is, paradoxically, the very thing that ensures their undoing. As a result, their lives are marked by a profound lack of fulfillment, and their existence, when stripped of its carefully constructed facade, is far from a happy one. One of the most striking aspects of narcissists is their reaction to the joy and success of others. Seeing people around them relish life's pleasures only intensifies their inner turmoil. This is because they are often mired in a lifetime of misery, disillusionment, and unmet expectations. While some may hold on to hope that narcissists can change or be rehabilitated, the truth remains stark: transformation is only possible if they willingly seek help. The choice to heal lies entirely with the narcissist. External efforts to alter their behavior are futile, as most narcissists prefer to maintain their grandiose image rather than confront the painful truths of their existence. Instead of seeking authenticity, they craft a veneer of happiness and success to mask their internal chaos. They perform rather than live, acting as though they are content, in love, or enthusiastic about life, even when their reality tells a different story. This facade serves dual purpose: it helps them blend into society, while also perpetuating their internal cycle of misery. Their inability to form genuine emotional connections is a direct consequence of their obsessive focus on themselves. Dissatisfied with life at its core, they are quick to anger and constantly seek out new sources of frustration. To a narcissist, other people are not individuals with feelings and aspirations, but mere pawns in their game of power and control. In a world increasingly devoid of deep emotional connections, narcissists are emblematic of a broader societal issue. They lie and manipulate, creating illusions to sustain their hollow relationships. Beneath the surface, their lives are riddled with disappointment, fear, and unhappiness. They yearn to project their inner turmoil onto others, deriving a twisted sense of satisfaction from spreading their misery. It is essential to remember that even when a narcissist appears to be thriving, this is often nothing more than a well-constructed illusion. Their happiness is a performance, a carefully curated act designed to deceive. For this reason, envying a narcissist is both unnecessary and misplaced. Their lives, though seemingly glamorous on the outside, are marred by inner emptiness and dissatisfaction. Understanding this reality can free us from the temptation to covet their facade. Instead, we can focus on cultivating authentic joy and meaningful connections in our own lives. Thank you for taking the time to explore this perspective with me today. If you found this insightful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future uploads. Your support means the world to us, and we're grateful for your presence here. Until next time, take care and stay empowered. When a narcissist thinks they are done with you, this is what they do. Everyone, we're back with another video. In this video, we'll be looking at the steps narcissists take before they finally discard you. Narcissists go through the stages of idealizing, devaluing, discarding, and hoovering because they are insecure and need other people for security. Yet they secretly envy those who don't share their fears. Even in the midst of a close friendship or relationship, narcissists might discard. The vicious cycle of undervaluing and hoovering while continuing to pursue others. This cycle continues. When it comes to kids, they'll be there but not really present for the rest of their lives. It's possible that if they're in a new relationship, they'll start to idealize their partner's kids while holding them to lower standards than they do themselves. The best way to deal with a narcissist's discard is to first figure out what the narcissist wants to accomplish by using it. Nevertheless, the narcissist might choose between a soft discard and a hard discard. In a soft discard, the other person isn't completely over you but needs time apart to determine if you're the right person for them right now. They might say they need space, time apart from the relationship, or to work on themselves. A narcissist will do whatever it takes to keep you around, whether it is for their own narcissistic needs or until they are emotionally ready to deal with you again. As a result, they go to great lengths to avoid arguments by remaining polite under pressure. They keep in touch with you while going about their daily business as if nothing were wrong. However, in case the renewed enthusiasm dies down, they have you ready as a fallback. However, the hard discard seems to be the norm these days, and it could be a really abrupt and harsh way out, intolerably, or else they vanish entirely. The unprepared may not always see it coming, even if a non-narcissist sees nothing except the narcissist's moodiness or general unhappiness. The relationship is doomed. Sadly, some people still think of it as a minor roadblock that, with any luck, will vanish in the not-too-distant future. There is no doubt that the narcissist has ulterior motives. It's also the unvarnished truth. To this end, there are certain behaviors a narcissist will always exhibit as they set the stage to cast you aside. The narcissist may be ready to discard you since they have already found a replacement supply. There is no comparison between you and the newest supply in the eyes of the narcissist. As with everyone else, however, they will grow tired of them eventually. Also, remember that your destruction is the narcissist's ultimate objective. They intend to inflict as much damage on you as possible before setting you free. Before they leave, they ensure that you will either hold this against them or never forget about them. There are a few things a narcissist will do before they toss you under the bus that will make you second-guess your decisions, take the blame, and even wish they would take you back. Narcissists are meticulous architects of their own lives. crafting every decision and interaction with a calculated strategy. Their actions, though often subtle, form a complex web of manipulation designed to fulfill their needs while systematically dismantling the confidence and independence of those around them. These behaviors become glaringly apparent as the relationship nears its breaking point. It is during this time that the narcissist intensifies their campaign, ensuring that their departure leaves no doubt in your mind that you are the problem, not them. This orchestrated chaos serves their ultimate purpose to leave you questioning your worth and burdened by blame. One of the first signs of this unraveling is an onslaught of criticism. A narcissist will seize upon your every perceived flaw and magnify it to devastating effect. Your appearance, your sense of style, your cooking, nothing is off limits. Their barbed words cut deep, leaving you to wonder if there is anything about yourself that is worthy of admiration or love. This barrage of negativity is not random, it is a deliberate attempt to erode your self-esteem. The narcissist's aim is to ensure that by the time the relationship ends, you are so weighed down by insecurity and anguish that you can barely stand under the weight of their rejection. As their campaign of emotional sabotage escalates, the narcissist may also resort to outright theft. This behavior is not limited to material possessions but can extend to your financial resources, emotional reserves, or even your sense of stability. If questioned about missing items or money, they will feign ignorance with a convincing air of innocence, leaving you second-guessing your own perceptions. This gaslighting is a hallmark of their manipulative tactics. By the time you realize what has been taken from you, it is often too late to reclaim it. For the narcissist, no boundary is too sacred, no law too dishonorable, if it serves to protect or advance their interests. The third hallmark of a narcissist preparing to discard you is a marked increase in complaints and dissatisfaction. No matter what you do, it will never be good enough. Activities and habits that once brought joy to the relationship are now sources of contention. The narcissist will invent problems where none existed, turning even the smallest disagreements into insurmountable conflicts. Their discontent is not limited to words, their body language and facial expressions will exude disdain and contempt. This deliberate display of dissatisfaction is intended to make you feel as though the relationship's collapse is entirely your fault. To further this narrative, they will malign you to your friends and family, spreading lies and half-truths designed to cast you in the worst possible light. This smear campaign not only isolates you from your support system, but also shifts the blame squarely onto your shoulders. Their unrelenting negativity becomes a reflection of their deep-seated resentment and hatred, which they channel into crafting a narrative where you are the villain. As the final act of the narcissist's strategy unfolds, you may find yourself faced with their stony silence and palpable moodiness. This withdrawal of affection and attention is not a random act of cruelty, it is a calculated move to signal that you are no longer of value to them. When a narcissist determines that you can no longer meet their needs, they discard you with a cold efficiency that can leave you reeling. Their silent treatment is a powerful weapon, designed to make you feel invisible, rejected, and unlovable. These last days or weeks of the relationship are often the most chaotic and emotionally turbulent of your life. By the time they leave, they ensure that you are so consumed by guilt and self-blame that you scarcely have the strength to move forward. The narcissist's ultimate goal in all of this is self-preservation and self-advancement. Every calculated insult, every stolen possession, every cruel remark is part of a larger scheme to justify their actions to themselves and others. They want you to believe that they were the victim, that you were the cause of the relationship's demise. This enables them to walk away unburdened by guilt, secure in the belief that they were in the right all along. By leaving you in a state of emotional turmoil, they maintain the upper hand, ensuring that you are too confused and broken to challenge their version of events. For the narcissist, life is nothing more than a game to be won. Every interaction is an opportunity to manipulate, every relationship a chance to extract what they need. Your pain and confusion are not unfortunate side effects, they are the intended outcome. In their minds, your suffering validates their actions, allowing them to justify their behavior without remorse. They do not care if you are left shattered, questioning your worth, or wondering where things went wrong. Their priority is, and always will be, themselves. Even in the aftermath of their departure, the narcissist's influence lingers. They often leave the door ajar, creating just enough doubt in your mind to make you wonder if reconciliation is possible. This lingering hope is another tool of manipulation. By keeping you tethered to the possibility of their return, they ensure that you remain ensnared in their web. If they choose to come back, it is not out of love or regret, but because they see another opportunity to exploit you. To break free from a narcissist's grasp requires immense strength and self-awareness. It involves recognizing their tactics for what they are and refusing to internalize their narrative. Rebuilding your life after such an experience is no small feat, but it is possible. By reclaiming your sense of self and surrounding yourself with supportive and understanding people, you can emerge from the ashes of the relationship stronger and more resilient than before. In the end, the narcissist's game is one of destruction and manipulation, but it is a game they cannot win forever. Their relentless pursuit of self-interest may bring them temporary victories, but it leaves them perpetually empty and unfulfilled. Meanwhile, those who endure their cruelty have the capacity to grow, heal, and rediscover the beauty of life beyond the narcissist's shadow. The journey is arduous, but it leads to a place of freedom and authenticity, a life where you are no longer a pawn in someone else's game, but the author of your own story.